Hello and welcome to the Too Much Time on Our Hands podcast. If you're joining us on the stream today on YouTube, delighted to have you with us. We've got a fantastic selection of products, so make sure that if you get them into your baskets, that you do check out, because it doesn't mean that they're reserved. I'm delighted to be joined by all my co-hosts and product specialists today. It's the Too Much Time on Our Hands team. I'm going to say hello to Duncan. Hello, how are you, dear?
Well, thank you very much, Tom. It's a pleasure to be here. How are you doing?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic. I can't wait to be thrown to you a little bit later. Dan, how are you? It's fantastic to see you too.
It's fantastic to see you too, Tom. Thank you for having me.
It's an absolute pleasure. It's always a pleasure. And Russ, fantastic to have you with us as well. How are you, sir?
Yeah, good to be back after that consumer rip-off scandal. But we say no more about that here, do we?
Say no more about it. It's official company policy to completely ignore what our customers are saying about these products. Anyway, as I'm saying, you're going to be joining us for about an hour. We've got an action-packed episode of all sorts of products and things that you'd find in films, TV shows, video games, all those wonderful knickknacks. They're here, they're ready to be bought. As I said, if you've got things in your baskets, please do make sure to check out. I cannot tell you how, in fact, the producers are saying things are going fast, so do make sure that you check out. We're going to start by throwing to Dan, who's got a fantastic product that he wants to tell you about. Dan.
So we're no strangers to fragrances on this channel, as we've alluded to in the past. We've sold many a fragrance. And with
speaking of no strangers of fragrance, of course, there was the days when there was four of us in this tiny shed.
There was
aromatic,
bit of a fragrance there, and we could have done with this particular product then. So we're eagerly awaiting the lockdown to end so we can all become socialites again. So picture the scene. You're at Michael Greco's first sex party, and you're all decked out in your Diamante mask because you're still socially responsible, even though the lockdown has technically ended. And so you're without your winning smile, so you need to find another way of standing out. Bring on this particular fragrance called Sex Panther. Really, there isn't a smell like it. It's made with bits of real panther. That's how you know it's good. Described in the past as a smell that's a formidable scent that stings the nostrils in a good way. Also described, though, as smelling like pure gasoline, a toad covered in hair, and Bigfoot's dick. It is illegal in 9 countries, so really this is a heck of an opportunity for you to go out and get a fragrance that will really make you stand out at Michael Greco's sex party. So hurry up and get it. The other thing to remember is scientists have formulated that 60% of the time it works every time as well.
That doesn't make sense.
Comes in a fantastic decorative box. And yes, if you can see it, that is real AstroTurf.
Dan, can you please do the little noise that it makes when it pops up? Yes.
So yeah, Sex Panther would be the first item that we've got available on the Too Much Time on Our Hands shopping network.
Excellent.
And Dan, how, the producers are asking me, how much does it cost a bottle?
$69.69.
Excellent. There we go. It's a very nice. It's a suggestive figure, isn't it, Dan?
Nice. Yes. Nice. Yeah.
Oh, that's going straight in my basket.
I mean, yeah.
Haven't you ever come across that? There's a guy who goes around doing the, that goes straight in my basket. Is that right? I can't remember. Anyway,
I've never come across that.
Duncan's watching the only TV shopping channel that's got Kenneth Williams hosting.
Oh, yes, now. Okay, well, that sounds absolutely wonderful, Dan. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us about Sex Panther?
Yeah, so the decorative box, it's about 30 centimeters by 20 centimeters by 10 centimeters. Has a decorative panther bottle that looks like a panther's head. So you know it's quality, obviously, along with the fact that it's made from real bits of panther as well. Formidable scent, as previously mentioned. This thing is it's incredibly rare, incredibly hard to find, and it will make you stand out at those socialite events that we're all looking forward to getting back to when things return to normal, especially without my winning smile.
Yeah, bit of a revelation to find out that you spend most of your time out of lockdown at socialite sex parties.
Michael Greco's sex party.
Michael Greco's, yeah. Yeah, I mean, where you can imagine it already smells pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the smell might not even be noticed.
Yeah, and of course, £69.69 pounds. get it in your basket. Or if you'd like to finance that, you can pay in 4 installments of £17.42 with a 22% interest payment on top of that for each payment. And if you miss any, we will come round and break your legs. So there we go. Well, that's the first item on our list there, Sex Panther. I mean, if we're just gonna wax everything about this, I mean, honestly, one of the best fake aftershaves ever in history, especially the way he is like kind of pouring it onto himself as he goes.
How did they decide to like? Because the whole thing seemed to have been made up as they went along. They're like, no, this aftershave bit, we need to really go to town on this. Like, get props made.
I read
big thing.
that they literally made the box, and then they think we got to do something with this. So like, there's this box with this panther in the middle of this like AstroTurf like patch that they've made, and the panther rises up with the noise as well. Which is just
what noise would that be, Dan?
Wow. So
Yeah, that sounds like the cats outside my window.
yeah, it's a lot.
Maybe they're wearing Sex Panther tonight.
But it's such a great scene. You get the feeling that they came up with the scene and then let everyone ad lib what the worst possible smell could be.
Yeah.
Smells like Bigfoot's dick is still my favourite.
Yeah, a baby's diaper filled with Indian food.
Yeah.
That's always a good one.
Yeah. So yeah, Sex Panther.
Sex Panther.
Lovely.
That's absolutely fantastic. Thank you. The producers are saying that these are running out very quickly. So again, if you have them in your basket, do go to checkout. And if you want to, stay tuned because we're throwing now over to Duncan for his first product. Duncan, what have you got for us?
Well, I've got the perfect thing for if you want to go traveling when we can travel again. And, you know, languages are always a bit of an issue. I've got for you the ultimate translator. That's right, the Babelfish, the Babblefish. Just pop it into your ear and you'll understand whatever sweet language is being spoken to you. You can go around the world, you can go intergalactic, and you'll always know what the lingo, what's going down.
I don't know if I can take an hour of these voices.
The Babelfish luckily doesn't need any care. Just pop it in and it feeds off those psychic energies in your brain. And yes, it looks that good. No, it's that way, isn't it? It looks that good. And what's more, what we can actually offer you, if you buy the Babelfish this evening, right now, for a really handy price of 42 galactic dollars, 42 galactic cents, you will get also a free copy of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. For if you're going
Never heard of it.
around this galaxy, you'll want to know where you are and some background to help you find those fascinating sights.
£42 and 42 pence. I mean, you know, something like this, surely for that amount of money and the capabilities of this product, you know, surely this is evidence that God must exist. Is that right? Or
Well, you can actually go and find God, and you'll see the big burning scripture in the sky on one planet, and yeah, and it'll help you find the actual meaning of life, like the actual answer to that question of life, the universe, and everything. Just avoid the planet of cricket. Just don't go there. It's deadly.
so do you have to provide
this
your
would be
own?
amazing.
Do you have to provide your own goldfish bowl, or I mean, does it
No,
live in any
it
water?
just no.
You
just
get Arthur
slice-
keeps his in a goldfish bowl when he gets back to Earth, doesn't he?
Yeah, you can just put it in a bowl if you do not want to understand what anyone is ever saying. It even works in Fraserburgh and Peterborough, but the Babelfish can cover all languages and dialects. It's even worked at the security on the security guard at Aberdeen University. Anyway, you can understand him. Love the money, like no one could. But with the Babelfish, you can. Yeah, so you pop it out. You can pop it in a bowl of water. Otherwise, it will live quite happily, permanently in your ear. You will never have a trouble with language again.
Amazing.
It's great. It is one of my favourite, like, hand waving, explain away any of the problems devices in sci-fi. It's just magnificent. And then, yeah, go on to argue that it proves definitively that God must exist because it's just too convenient.
Tom, I mean, I'm looking at Rosetta Stone online, and you're generally looking at paying at least like £30, like a 12-month subscription to that. We're asking for a one-off price of £42
between a
galactic dollar
sterling pound and a galactic dollar pound is.
True.
So
Absolutely.
Why are you trying to not sell these things? Like we're trying to, sell things, and you yeah.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, I kind of grew up thinking that would be the best thing in the world ever, and we've basically all got it now. If you can get Wikipedia on your phone, you've pretty much got the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
And you can use Google Translate, and it does sort of get you. You can use it.
It's not the same.
It's not the same because you can't do the audio, but it does mean you can actually translate pretty well. You can read everything. You just hold up your phone now, and you can read it. But yeah, we basically do have. Unfortunately, the phones now don't have "Don't Panic" on it, but I do like the fact that it could. I do imagine it looking a bit like a Kindle, like it is in the picture there.
My first iPad, I got "Don't Panic" engraved on the back of it because there's some offer they were doing free.
It's very
you can get something written on the back of it, and it was for free.
It's very calming, isn't it? The phrase "Don't panic." I love that emblazoned in big friendly letters on the cover. And of course, don't forget that the Babelfish for $42 galactic dollars and 42 cents can be bought again on finance through QuickPay in 4 easy installments of $10 galactic dollars and 60 galactic cents. So as I said, that is 22% APR, and we will break your legs if you don't make the payments. But that's not anything you need to worry about. And don't forget to check out because the baskets are filling up. As I said, it doesn't mean stock allocation. It just means it's in your basket. Duncan, is there anything else you'd like to tell us about the Babelfish at all?
No. I can't
Excellent. Excellent. Well, then I'm going to go straight to me.
He's
in
amazing
the next
at
studio.
improv classes.
Yeah. I'm going to go straight to me in the next studio. Hi. Do you ever wonder where things that are moving might be? Well, then all you need is a device capable of picking up any and all movement of things within a range of, say, 20 to 30 meters. But you don't need to make it out of high-tech equipment. You can just make it out of bits of fluff, spiders' webs, and whatever else you can find hanging around your commercial towing vessel. Now, this particular motion tracker looks like an ordinary leaf blower, but it's not a leaf blower. Actually, what it does is it measures subtle changes in air density to detect any and all moving things. That's right, you could own the Nostromo's air density motion tracker device that basically picks up anything that moves, and if you find something that is moving that you don't want to find, you will have to therefore put it in a box to eliminate that as a movement source. It's basically incredibly impractical, but we'll tell you where everything that's moving is at any given moment, as long as it's in a 30-mile radius and you can 30-meter radius, and you can detect what the sort of changing in shifts of the tone that it emits is doing. So it's wonderfully practical, and can be yours for simply $100 galactic dollars and 1 galactic cent. It's marvelous.
Tell me, can you use it in any kind of a climbing environment? Can you go through air ducts, say, if you need to find that pesky little critter that's maybe clambered up there?
It's a good question. It's one we get quite a lot, actually. In fact, yes, you can, but the little screen will usually, you'll sort of interpret it the wrong way round. You always have to remember that you are the front blip, and whatever you're looking for is the back blip. And that's a very simple rule will keep you in very, very good stead.
I think one of these would be very useful for knowing when cats have come to do shits on my lawn.
How is it for picking up cats, actually?
If the cat is moving, it will detect it.
Yeah,
if it stops moving, it won't.
It does look very hastily cobbled together, doesn't it?
Yes, absolutely. But that shouldn't be anything that worries you about quality. So you shouldn't worry about the quality of it being of its build or the various bits of crap that have been taken and assembled into it. You shouldn't worry about that. It's a good price for what
And
it is.
What's more is you can find spares wherever. You could even find spares in this wonderful shop that I've got as my background at the moment, or you might be able to find spares down the back of your sofa. Isn't that right, Tom?
Absolutely. In fact, the beauty of this device is that it is literally cobbled together from stuff they just found lying around. So basically, if you find stuff lying around, augment it, make it your own, add a shark fin to it, whatever you like. It's absolutely 100% customizable.
Your own stuff is 100% customizable.
Yeah. Turns out you can gaffer tape any old shit together and spray paint it silver.
It does seem that way, yeah.
And of course, available for 4 weekly payments, if you like, of $25 galactic dollars. I mean, it's obviously it's the Nostromo's thing that Ash puts together with the diabolical purpose of being sort of effective, but not effective enough. You know what I mean?
So is that kind of established that like he could have done better?
I think it's one of those parts of the Alien film that is certainly implied. That all of the things, like he knows very well that the alien, by the time that they've got their shock prods and stuff like that, and their nets, that it's already outgrown, that sort of thing. So all of his methods are, next to the flamethrower. His crappy motion tracker is a piece of shit, and so are his shock handles. It's like, no, he doesn't make the shock handles, does he? He makes the nets and the motion tracker. Yeah, I mean it's
more just a device that tells you you're about to die.
Basically, yeah. And bizarrely, it's one of those devices that isn't really fleshed out in the movie that much. Like, 1 minute it's just something that makes a noise when you move your hand in front of it, and then when Dallas is in the vents, it's suddenly got a screen with little blips all over it. But it's only got 2 blips. It's not picking up all the other movement going on around it. It's very, very odd.
But it does serve a very excellent tense scene, though, doesn't it?
Yeah. When it turns out that he's not the blip they think he is, and that it's actually the blip moving towards him is actually the alien, and it'd be creepy. But there we go. Yes, and that can be yours for, as I said, a very reasonable price of $100 galactic dollars. Okay, we're going to be handing over to product specialist Russ. Russ, what do you got to us?
Me, what did I have as my first thing? Oh yeah, so the absolute epitome of personal communications technology that hits the absolute sweet spot between device size, durability, and stuff like screen size and tactile response. It's the hand terminals from The Expanse, which are perfect. And the way they've achieved this incredible balance between, physical dimensions and screen real estate is by completely ignoring the laws of physics and just having them be completely impossible, which it turns out Nokia should have been doing back from the 90s. These things are amazing.
Yeah.
And in terms of props, like, they're just a little sliver of plastic that they wave around. But they, if they've obviously put some real thought into how these things work. They're sort of combination phone, computer, radio, whatever you want, really. They all seem to network together very nicely. And just with a few, let's face it, fairly ambiguous hand gestures, you can make them pop stuff out and it just floats in the air.
I love that. I love how you can just things to like other people's things.
Yeah. Or if you're looking at something that's too small, you just have it float in front of you.
Yeah.
Somehow watching things that are transparent, which just shouldn't work at all. How would you get something black to be projected on a hologram?
It's a good question, but the baskets are filling up, Russ. So let's keep going with the pluses. You say it can network.
Like the picture you've chosen of Christian Avasarala typing "where the fuck" into it as well.
The best thing about that on her one is as she's typing, all the suggested words that come up are variants on fuck. So you've got fucker, fucked, fucking, and something else as they're clearly recognised as her most used vocabulary. So as soon as she presses F, it pops up with all the usual options.
Oh, I love her so much.
I like how they are universal, and there isn't anything. No one really stylizes them. Even in the books, they're never described as something it's just a universal piece of kit. Everyone
Yeah,
has,
and they're pretty
has it.
utilitarian. Nobody's like,
Yeah.
oh, I've got to get the new hand terminal Pro X or whatever.
Yeah.
It's all about the software, really. But
Yeah, and amongst Belters, Martians, and the Earthers as well. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I
we-
genuinely can't think of a better like future communicator thingy representation than those.
The Expanse is good for. This is the best representation of something in the future, in general, though.
the thing about those, you can sort of see it happening.
Yeah,
Apart from the whole projecty bollocks, yeah.
Yeah, apart from that, but the
Well,
other,
actually, and from the transparent display. I mean, transparent displays are just a bad idea. They don't work. You don't want to see another image through the image that you're trying to look at. I mean, how insanely... If you imagine that, like, your monitor, you could just set the opacity to 50% and you could see through it to whatever was behind it. That'd be fucking irritating. So nobody wants transparent
Really not selling
displays in real life. But
Yeah,
seem
we're
to-
actually we're losing baskets.
Well, no, it's okay, because in TV and movies, the way you get around that is by very carefully framing every moment of your life so that there's a plain surface behind the thing that you're looking at.
we have had some interest in some of our items. Jamie has said he'll take 2 of the useless motion detectors.
Excellent, that's brilliant.
nice.
Fantastic, thank you, well done.
He says he only caught the end of the Panther, but he thinks one belongs in his bathroom.
Excellent, there we go.
A question regarding the hand terminals from Dan: do they have Snake on them?
I mean, at one point they used to remotely target and launch a missile from a spaceship, so I imagine that if it's capable of doing that, it can run Snake, which I think you can write in about 45 lines of code.
There you go. So probably is the answer.
There we go. That's a resounding maybe.
And Jamie says that would be essential to secure his purchase on the hand terminal as well. Hand terminals are very popular, despite the fact that you shout all over them.
They're very popular. In fact, and actually several hundred of the units that we had are still there. So if you would like to get them, make sure they go into your basket pretty damn quickly, because stock levels, they are beginning to drop.
I do really want one of these. You hold one back for me.
Absolutely, Russ. We're going to hold one back for you. Russ, just tell us quickly, how much are these per handheld terminal?
I'm guessing they're pretty cheap because they seem fairly universal. So they are 10, whatever the currency is in the Expanse.
Absolutely.
I've always kind of
Martian
assumed it's like
Dublix.
it's kind of like an internet for everyone kind of thing. Like I've always kind of assumed that people just get given these things,
Isn't it
essentially.
just credits?
I think they
Yeah,
do
it's-
say
yeah.
credits, don't they?
Yeah, or chicken, depending on where you are at what time.
So there you go. You heard it here
No chicken.
first. 10 credits total. 2 credits, 50 credit bits.
Sure,
Uh,
why not?
4
Dan
payments
says he needs a
on-
more positive answer regarding Snake before purchasing.
Oh,
We'll
I mean,
get on.
It could definitely do Snake, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Definitely, that's absolutely
I'm
fine.
pretty sure
But
you see Alex playing a game at some point, don't you?
Yeah.
I'm sure on his hand terminal. But
absolutely.
yeah, I mean they can do anything.
So we're going to say that yes, you can do Snake, but do remember the terms and conditions that we cannot be held accountable or liable for any promises made about products on this show. If you buy it, that's it. No refunds, no processing, and no damages will be considered at all. Buy at your own risk. Anyway, we're having a fantastic show. It's great. We're just going to throw out to our quick advert break here. Jim's Sausages have asked us to tell you all about their secret sausages today. $12.99 a kilo, made with meat that they don't want to talk about. So after that fantastic message, we're going to be handing over straight away back to Dan, who's got another product on his roster for us right now. Don't forget, fill those baskets and hit the checkout. You're with too much time on our hands. Dan.
Hi. Yeah. So I'm looking at the new normal. The idea of the new normal. People are working from home more, so they're going to need more storage. And instead of just getting a normal old box file to store your important documents and papers in, why not get the Ark of the Covenant? So the way I look is an ornate wooden box with gold pieces on it. So it looks beautiful. You can store, I believe, many documents in it. I have to be honest, I haven't had a look. A while ago, someone did have a look. And I will say, when you're opening it, maybe some kind of eye protection something to kind of like cover your eyes, because
Might
the
go
last
so,
people that
so far as full face protection.
full face protection, maybe, yeah, like a mask that covers your whole face would be good, because the last person that tried it, their face melted. So you probably want to deal with that. It probably needs a bit of a clean out, if I'm honest as well. We are buying these second hand, but these fucking loads of them. Yeah, and buying this second hand. But
Like Baldric with his holy relics.
does
Hey,
appear to have a
boxes of 20.
slight ghost problem. So maybe give it a bit of a clean, but whilst not looking at it, don't look at it. Okay, put your documents in whilst not looking at it once it's open. Okay.
So Dan, it sounds like it's a fantastic place to safely and securely store your documents. Am I right in saying that burglars would have their faces melted if they tried to get hold of your...
imploded, exploded? Yeah,
Excellent.
sure, any of those really. Yes.
Excellent. This is fantastic. How much would one of these amazing boxes cost, Dan? One of these arcs?
So I mean, this one's quite expensive. So you're probably looking at. It's a one of a kind arcane relic that's been missing for several hundreds and thousands of years. £150.
My God, do you know what that is? That's, for a shopping channel like ours, that is a very expensive piece of kit. £150.
Yeah.
Or 4 easy payments of mathematics that I can't do in my head right now. I'm going to say
£50.
Yeah.
£35. I don't know.
In terms of currency
amazing.
that we take, we have been asked, do we take Bitcoin? We do take Bitcoin, and do it or crypto.
Same thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, you would take Bitcoin, but why? You wouldn't buy anything in Bitcoin, would you? Because it's increasing in value all the time.
Isn't it like
Probably not real, is it?
$60,000 at the moment? A single Bitcoin is $60,000.
You have to mine
Yeah, but
for it,
you
don't
never.
you?
Nothing costs 1 Bitcoin. It always costs like 0.00003 whatever.
They should
Yeah, I don't
combine.
understand why anyone would actually use them as a like they were touted as a currency, but you can't use as a currency something that doubles in value every couple of months, can you?
That's
No,
probably why it's called crypto.
Every time you bought something, you feel like a complete fucking chump.
Dan also says the Ark of the Covenant sounds like it would be a great present for his mother-in-law.
Oh, wonderful.
It's quite chintzy,
definitely.
isn't it?
Yeah.
And you could,
It's not going to fit in like a modernist decor.
No,
You could keep jewellery in.
you could keep anything in it.
Could.
That's the beauty of the Ark of the Covenant.
It has to be
Just
things you can
don't
recognise
look at
by
it.
feel, because you can't look at it ever.
Yeah, don't look at it.
Do you know what I think would be amazing? I think it would look great in an underground room filled with snakes.
There you go.
What do you think? The gold, ornate, snakes everywhere.
If you've already got the snakes, then why not add the Ark of the Covenant?
Yeah, you heard it here first. If you have snakes filling a room, why not complete the look of that room with the Ark of the Covenant
Yeah.
and store your documents
What
in there,
are
but
all
don't
those
look at it?
snakes eating?
Each other.
Each other. Fair enough. Yeah.
How much does international shipping cost for an item like this? You're probably looking at. So it comes with its own wooden crate because that's how we found it.
Yeah.
If you transport it
found
by
its-
submarine.
Yeah.
At the
It
time, it
depends.
was being looked after by top men.
Yeah.
Top
Man.
men.
Yes. Yeah. I think international with crates, providing that a man in a hat and a whip isn't chasing you, probably not that expensive. Probably could do it for not that expensive. 150 for the item. £6 million.
Excellent. So obviously, as you can see, we're recouping
150
some.
quid, £6 million postage and packaging.
Yeah, we're recouping some of our admin costs with that delivery charge, but it will get there safe and securely, and that is a too much time on our hands shopping channel promise.
Not one of those dodgy
Otherwise,
eBay
we'll
sellers that
replace
scourge-
it.
Scours
Yeah.
you on the shipping costs.
It's absolutely fine.
Duncan, your shop's disappeared.
On a separate
Yeah.
note, by the way, thank you everyone for joining in this conversation. You're making me laugh a lot.
I know where Duncan's David Dickinson shit in the attic background was quite. was quite
Sorry,
good.
David
it's just a
Dickinson's
technical.
done a shit
It was
in
a
my
technical hitch. I'll just get it back. I felt it seemed to be.
Oh, it's absolutely lovely what you've got there. It's got a show me,
It's
Duncan. What was it you've got
camera
there?
at the bottom of a ladder heading out of the attic, and it's like eerily long. You see him walking down, slip at one point, and then get down to the bottom and just goes, "I wouldn't go in the attic for a while," and then walk off. It's just on a sitting in the attic, yeah.
That's absolutely wonderful. Dan, thank you very much for bringing that product in. If you are looking forward to it and you have it allocated in your basket at the moment, there's only one of them. So the first one of you to check out will get yourselves your very own Ark of the Covenant.
Nice.
Really ties the room together.
Oh, it absolutely does, especially if that room is filled with snakes and underground, very cold. We're going to be thrown over to Duncan now. Duncan, what's your next product? Go on, tell us.
Your shop's back.
Well, have you ever really just wanted to be able to like alter reality, go back in time, maybe change
All
how
the
you
time.
look, change how anyone else looks?
I'd like to go back
create-
35 minutes. Ayo!
Hey. Well, and would you like to do it with the biggest bit of bling around? Well, now you can with a big golden glove. Yes, we're bringing to you on this channel the Infinity Gauntlet.
Amazing.
This special
this
package
is another
comes
one-of-a-kind item, isn't it, here?
Yeah, but this is a really special one. I mean, there are... Jeez, I've just forgotten how many Infinity Stones are there. There's 5, aren't there?
Six.
There's
Six.
6 Infinity...
Somebody clearly thought of the idea of the Infinity Stones before they thought of the idea of putting them in a glove, because there should be 5.
Yeah,
and
five.
Stick one on the back of your hand. Sure, why not?
Yeah, so if you need to change reality, maybe you want to wipe out half of all living organisms in the universe, then this is the glove for you. But you can also create life. You don't have to end it.
Quick question.
Mhm.
Will I be able to use my phone through the Infinity Gauntlet? That's a
Is it
problem I have regularly
electrostatic?
with gloves. Yeah.
Yeah, does it have those little squidgy pads at
Yeah.
the tip of the
Well,
fingers?
amazingly, yes, you can get those as a, and for a very special free price for this night only, for the next 3 minutes, you can get those pads as a little added extra for free if you buy now this one-off special item. I mean, there are 6 stones for you to collect. We'll chuck in a couple. You do have to go on multiple franchise-winning adventures across the galaxy to find them. They don't all just appear in nice blue cubes for you to use. So, yeah, the Infinity Gauntlet. It's
Duncan, is it likely I'm going to have to sacrifice someone I love to complete the stone sets? Because I have heard a rumor. Not that I'm averse to it, but I'm just, it's up to me.
I can't possibly say what you need to do to get all the stones. That's part of the fun of it. You might meet mysterious Red Baron. Who knows? Guy skull floating in
Baron?
the cloak.
Red Baron? What, Baron von Richthofen from the First World War?
You mean the Red Skull? Yeah.
I mean, he's got honour.
Sake.
Duncan,
This
is
is
it
really
sorry,
the one for me to choose, wasn't it? I'll just say.
is it unwieldy to wear, Duncan? Because I think a few of our viewers will be concerned if it's uncomfortable. It looks quite heavy. Do I have to, have the stature of a large muscular man or demigod, if you like? Do I have to have that sort of stature?
It can be adjusted to whatever size you want, because you don't even need to wear a special all-metal suit either to use it. This glove is here, but you don't even have to use it. It does make a pretty handy, because it's nice gold and probably a gold titanium blend. I don't know, something else. It has to be strong to wield all that power.
Probably, yeah.
It makes really quite a good ring holder as well. So really good for if you're wanting to wash up. Put it next to the sink. Put those rings.
Amazing.
Maybe your keys as well. Perfect kind of decorative key holder as well.
Amazing. Just like waterless wash and wax, it's got more than one use. Absolutely fantastic. Speaking of which, we've got pints of that stuff sitting around in little spray bottles. So if you do want any, it's $3.99 a bottle. the bottles are 1 litre and they do come with their own spray handle. Duncan, we're just back with the Infinity Gauntlet just for a moment. Duncan, how much does this once in a lifetime opportunity, how much will it set you back?
Well, it is made of some of the rarest and most precious metals, and you know the Infinity Stones were created at the birth of the universe. So I am looking at this one in a lifetime for you lucky listeners. £59.99. £59
You heard it here
99
first.
pence.
£59.99
Unless
for.
that's the wrong price, and Dan can come up with something far more Marvel related. But that is what we're
I'd-
going
I'd-
with.
Thanos got
3,000.
ripped off, didn't he? Because it cost him everything.
Yeah, including his, daughter.
Absolutely. But bear in mind that the too much time on our hands shopping channel guarantee is that you won't necessarily have to sacrifice someone you love, but it probably will be involved at some point. So
Completely
do keep
set.
that in mind if you are going to do it. But if you're like me and you are a completionist hound, you will want to sacrifice that loved one for that soul stone. So do keep in mind, £59.99, that's for easy quick payments on finance of £15. We've just rounded it up by 1/4 pence for each payment. And I hear we're going over to me. So we're back with me in the studio, and I just have to check my running order to make sure that I have actually got this one right. Do you, like me, ever want to get more people in your living room than your furniture can handle? Well, I have a fantastic and very simple solution for you if that is the case. Now, you might think to yourself, but I've only got a 3-seater sofa. Well, I tell you today, all you need is some wood, a ladder, and another sofa to stack on top of it, or you could just buy this one from us today. This is, of course, the double-decker couch, made very famous in concept by a very small movie. I don't know if you've heard of it, called the Lego Movie. Now, looking at it, it's absolutely fantastic quality. The cushions are very uncomfortable, made as they are from plastic. And in fact, there are a couple of seats that actually have knobbles on them as well, which are for those people in your life who like to have a little bit of a spicy time when they're sitting down on your sofa as well.
It's for those people in your life that have got sockets in their thighs.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Keeps them safe. Keeps them on the sofa.
Keeps them safe, keeps them on the sofa, stops them from slipping down if they've had a few beers. Now, this is the beauty of it. Watching TV can be a bit of a hassle sometimes, and, it can be a bit boring. So why not spice it up by being on the bottom row and having to stare through the legs of people hanging down from the top, the top seat up there. It makes it very exciting and almost makes you feel like you're watching the TV and can't see what's going on for the wood for the trees. It's an absolutely wonderful thing. Also, if you are interested, we can throw in an upgrade for refrigerated units to be built into the chairs. Not only that, they are refrigerated, they are also watertight. So if you find yourself in a submarine that's sinking and slowly imploding, you will be absolutely fine if you and your friends get into the little compartments underneath the seat cushions. Just wait it out, you'll be fine. And it is, of course, fully buoyant and will look after you in the sea afterwards. So you can wait until a passing pirate ship comes and picks you up. And it can be yours for a fantastic price, I think, for a sofa like this of 329 pence. That is it. That's all you need. So yeah, there we go. The double decker couch.
That's really
Fantastic.
cheap for Lego.
I was about to say that's
really-
cheap for Lego.
Absolutely, but it's already made, so half the fun's already gone. It's literally just that model of it there. So I can't say it's built to scale, but it should provide some people with a lot of fun, and that's what we're about here at the Too Much Time on Our Hands shopping channel. We're about fun and money.
So presumably
So give us your money.
you need quite a lot of ceiling height to really get the most out of this, don't you? Otherwise, the people on the
You do a
top
bit.
sofa are going to be sort of bumping their heads a bit.
I'm looking in the room I'm in at the moment and wondering if you could definitely do. I think you could.
You
I
can
mean, I
definitely
always
do
thought
it.
The
but
legs,
there would-
the legs coming down made it feel like you could be on a roller coaster. 'Cause,
Is
the legs.
Is it adjustable at all? Can you kind of up and down?
It is. For just £50, I can install motors that might do that.
Or a little pneumatic pump thing?
Absolutely, I could do that too. For 50 quid, I'll do it.
The cup holders come as standard, I'm guessing, as well.
The cup holders do come as standard. Thank you very much, Dan. That's great. Actually, in fact, the producer was going mental in my ear because I hadn't actually mentioned the cup holders. There are cup holders. They are an integrated part of it. They do come free. Dan, thank you very much. It's very, very good of you to point that out.
The little knobbly bits just stick up your bum.
Basically, yes. Yes. And I am being warned to advise everyone that just because they do doesn't mean they have to. So if there are people who insist on sitting there, you probably should break off your contact with them. Okay.
Very much an optional extra.
Absolutely, very much an optional extra. So yeah, absolutely. There you go. 320 pence, £50 for pneumatic pumps and motors to make it adjustable. And there we go. That's it. Yeah, that's the double-decker couch.
Very good, Tom.
Lovely.
Wonderful. And the producer's telling me to hurry this up. So I'm going to be throwing over to Russ, product specialist Russ. What have you got for us?
So over lockdown, obviously a lot of people might have felt a bit isolated, a bit lonely, but can't necessarily get that sort of human contact that they're looking for. So next best thing, a weighted companion cube.
So simple.
So simple.
So simple. Perfect construction, gorgeous bit of kit, and fully sentient and capable of love, even though it will never tell you that it loves you. You can form a pretty deep relationship with the weighted companion cube, or you can just use it for propping shit up, or for dropping on buttons and things if you ever need to do something like that.
Can you store anything in the companion cube?
The companion cube does not open. This is not a storage device, but it does fit perfectly into a standard IKEA Kallax cube. If you want
Excellent.
If you want to pop it in on display there.
So you say it never talks. Are you sure that it will never talk?
No, it's completely sentient and capable of love, but it will not ever speak to you, even if you think it's just about to say something.
How much does it weigh, Russ?
That is a good question. How much does it weigh? I don't think it's that heavy. I mean, but it is the weighted companion cube. It must be a good few kilos. It's pretty solid, chunky construction. You can fling it about a bit. It can take a bit of punishment, and I've never seen one crack or shatter or anything like that. So it's probably in the sort of 5 to 10 kilo range, as opposed to the unweighted companion cube, which was notoriously flaky and fragile.
And is it good for helping you solve puzzles, or maybe going through the odd portal or something?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it depends how good you are at that kind of 3D spatial reasoning, really, doesn't it? Sometimes when I've been sitting at that game, you just stare at something and cry. Sometimes you get through it quite easily.
Is the companion cube flame retardant at all?
Well, I think we have to decide. We have to believe that it is. As apparently, at the end of Portal 2, the one that pops out is meant to be the one that you threw into the fire at the end of the first game.
Yeah.
So it must be able to stand up to a fair bit of punishment.
Quick question: from Dan here? Does the companion cube come with cake?
No, the cake is a lie.
And I hate the fact that we've had to put that pun in.
I love
that meme.
The cake is real. You see the cake at the end of the first one, don't you? The cake was real all along.
Yeah.
Did you have you ever looked at the list of ingredients in the cake? There's basically the cake personality core that you pull off GLaDOS at the end of the first one is just soullessly reciting this list of recipe items. I'm just going to put it Portal cake recipe. It's, what does it say? Here we go. Recipe. So it kind of goes 1 ounce packaged chocolate cake mix, 1 can prepared coconut pecan frosting, 3/4 cup vegetable oil, 4 large eggs, 1 cup semi-sweet chocolate chips, 3/4 cup butter of margarine, 1 2/3 cup granulated sugar, 2 cups all-purpose flour. Don't forget garnishes such as fish-shaped crackers, fish-shaped candies, fish-shaped solid waste, fish-shaped dirt, fish-shaped ethyl benzene, pull and peel licorice, fish-shaped volatile organic compounds, and sediment-shaped what was this? Sediment-shaped sediment. Candy-coated peanut butter pieces shaped like fish. 1 cup lemon juice. Alpha resins. Unsaturated polyester resin. 9 large egg yolks, 12 medium geosynthetic membranes, 1 cup granulated sugar, an entry called How to Kill Someone with Your Bare Hands, 2 cups rhubarb sliced, 1 tablespoon grated orange rhubarb, injector needle driver, injector needle gun, slaughter electric needle injector, cordless electric needle injector, adjustable aluminium head positioner, cranial caps. I mean, it goes on and on and on.
Lovely.
Well,
Some
now
people
I
had a
want to
lot
play
of
it.
fun putting that game together, didn't they?
They really, really did.
I want to play Portal again now.
Valve did quite a good business with a long and big range of weighted companion cube plushies, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
They are
want an
cute.
actual. I want a solid weighted companion cube. You must be able to get
Yeah.
one somewhere.
You must be able to 3D print one.
Won't the wife get jealous?
I'm sure you could, but I don't have a 3D printer.
Why don't we have 3D printers? That seems like
Because
the
they're
irresponsible
cocking
thing
useless.
we should have all bought by now.
No, I think the 3D printing revolution failed the moment everyone did their first one and went, oh, it's shit, isn't it? And then,
Yeah.
they're
Doesn't
so
look anything
fiddly.
like me.
To get them working well, you need to, like, people go nuts over them. You need to put so much effort and time into it that it's almost always quicker to have just gone and bought one of the thing that you were going to 3D print.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or just get resin molds, molded stuff, like injection molded
Yeah.
versions of it. Like there are so many. There's a few people I saw on the Scale Model site who are like printing out their own models of the Mandalorian, and sort of going, you can have these for like 50, 55 pounds, and then there was some other guy just like, oh, I've just made injection molds and I'm just making it out of resin and you can have it for 20 if you want. You can just have all these bits. It's like, I'll have them. I'll have that one. And they look better anyway. Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Russ. That's wonderful. Weighted companion cube. How much is the weighted companion cube?
How much would a weight come out? Oh, they seem to be basically given out free, but only when you agree to certain fairly onerous terms and conditions involving a lot of testing and reporting.
Excellent. And of course, too much time on our hands. Shopping Channel does get a bonus every time someone is recruited into the Aperture Science testing cycle, where of course you might be one of the lucky recipients of a weighted companion cube. So if you would like to do that, don't forget to sign your names on the form, sign in triplicate, and send those forms back to the office of Cave Johnson, who will be in touch to get you into his Mantis Men program or Aperture Science Portal Device Testing Chambers. Weighted companion cubes. Russ, thanks very much. We're going to hand over now to product specialist Dan, who's going to talk to us about a product he's got.
It's one of my favourite items of the night.
Thanks, Dan. Tell us about it.
It's so now everyone's on Zoom calls. There has been a rush to make sure that you've got the fanciest looking books behind you, as you are. There seems like a real competition between people to have the fanciest book behind them. What book is fancier than the Necronomicon? So, unlike most modern books, this thing is cover to cover. It's a beautiful design of human flesh. So that, for starters, really stands out. You can have it propped up in front of your other books, in front of your Dan Brown collection, and it will really stand out. And people will probably wonder, what is that book that's behind you? Now, the one thing I wouldn't recommend is actually reading from the Necronomicon. God, why did I pick something I can't say? Necronomicon. Because some passages include awakening the Kandarian demon. Probably don't want to do that. Opening a rift in time and space. Funerary incantations, prophecies, a guide to demons, resurrecting the dead, transfer of power to a human, potion brewing instructions, and rewriting history. You probably want to avoid that when you're on a Zoom call with your boss trying to discuss what the next move in the marketing department's going to be. Instead, maybe just have it behind you, just looking very pretty, sleeve to sleeve, human flesh, very handwritten throughout most of it. This is a beautiful book that I think would look equally good on your bookcase or on your coffee table.
Just not in the downstairs loo.
Probably not, no, because you'd be tempted to read it.
Dan, has the human flesh, human skin, sorry, on the cover been properly treated?
Yes, yeah, it's been treated very well. This book's lasted a very long time. Once again, it's another one we've only got one of, although I believe there's a few of them floating around. So I would say, hurry if you want this book, if you want to be the envy of everyone on your Zoom calls, because the human flesh has been treated. It's a beautiful, weighty tome. This is a must-have book, and it's a one of a kind. No one else will have one of these, most likely, depending on who you're on Zoom calls with.
Yeah, that would look good. It just props up like where Tom's got the Half-Life art book, or I've got my wanky design books over there.
Yeah,
just pop it up in front of that, and then just act like nothing's wailing softly at you from behind all the way through.
People just kind of going.
No, I think that's on your end, Patricia.
Yeah. People just going. What's wrong with that book? Why is it glowing?
It's not one of Dan Brown's best, actually.
Yeah.
Really went downhill after the Da Vinci Code. Fuck me, that's an awful book. I read the Da Vinci Code against my better judgment. It's chuffing terrible.
Well, it's probably better than reading the Necronomicon, though, isn't it?
I mean, one of them will swallow your soul.
Yeah.
And the other's the Necronomicon.
Speaking of which, this is available to anyone who is willing to exchange their soul.
So that's the price.
Yeah.
Often a remarkably high number of takers for that.
So
there we go.
So how come we've got it and not Jeff Bezos?
I say that I think there's more than one. I think there's several, according to incredibly in-depth Evil Dead lore. Yeah. So
I spoke to some. No, I can't remember their name. They seemed quite old though. Maybe the old one. Those old ones. Those old ones who pop up every now and then. They seem quite interested in it. They seem to know a bit about it. So don't worry, we have done our research. We have got the people you can talk to, and some of them don't even have tentacles.
No.
Yeah, which is a big bonus.
They just love their craft. So yeah.
So there we go. As you heard right here, the price is one soul, your soul, if you are the person. Doesn't have to be yours. It could be yours. It could be someone else's. But unfortunately, the soul cannot be split into a finance agreement. It will just be taken in one go.
Yeah.
Probably sucked out of your heart, head, wherever the soul resides. That's where it's going to be drawn from in one go. It's relatively painful, but worth it in the end. For your very own bragging rights to have the Necronomicon.
And I think if you want to go full, if you want to get the full experience, probably chop your hand off that is possessed and replace it with a chainsaw.
Quite right.
I mean, so many people have just done that anyway.
Sage advice. Advice. It's
You'll
really
never
good advice.
know where your chainsaw is when you need to trim your bush.
Yeah. Or involving yourself in a little bit of topiary. It's completely up to you. Dan, thank you very much. Don't forget, if you allocate it, do click checkout, please, because this organization thrives on what? Fun and
cash.
That's it.
Or souls, it seems.
Or souls.
We're getting a kickback from that, so
it's really complicated online checkout that we had to implement to be able to accept souls as a currency.
Yeah, souls are worth
quite
less
the
than
technical challenge.
But don't worry, it is powering our necromantic machine that is slowly tunneling its way into this universe. So look forward to that over the coming dark days. Duncan, we're going to throw to you. What have you got for us, Duncan?
Well, I know Mother's Day's just been and Valentine's has been, but maybe you have got a special one in your life. Maybe you want to get them a nice piece of jewelry, or maybe you want to be able to find them in the dark, find them. Hang on, was it one ring to rule them all? Maybe you do want to rule them all.
I was going to bring the picture up.
I wonder what this could be.
So, just for you, we have got our very own Sauron to trick some elven smiths to make this fabulous gold ring. It will shrink to any finger size. It can enhance your power. It can enhance your looks. You might think you can use it for good, but do not be fooled. It will corrupt your heart eventually. For some people, the side effects happen quicker than others. It does have that one weird trick where you will become invisible, but this is really good for avoiding those awkward situations. You might intend to give it to that special one, but you'll find that you are the special one in this case. So it is perfectly fire resistant. In fact, you can chuck it in most flames, and you can then pick it up and hold it, and it's cold to the touch. Just don't chuck it in any volcanoes, especially ones like Mount Doom. Try to avoid there. But yeah, it's really good. It's the one ring to rule them all. It's one ring to bind them, and one ring to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them in the shadow in Mordor where the shadows lie.
Is that the same ring, by the way? That's all the same ring. There's not one ring for each one of those things.
No, it's just the one ring.
Cool.
Just the one ring.
Yeah.
I mean, there were
it
other
does give
rings
you dominion over the other rings of power.
Yeah, so we also do have the 3 rings for the Elven Lords in the sky, and 7 rings for the Dwarven Lords in the Halls of Stone, and 9 rings for mortal men doomed to die.
So comprehensive
6
products list there.
Yeah.
And 7 rings for Tom Brady.
Yeah, but he's not a mortal man.
No, exactly.
He might
Tom
be
Brady's
a ring.
not human, is it? I mean,
No, he's not. He's 43.
He's a robot or an alien. Nobody
He looks younger than all of
convinced
us.
anymore, are they?
He
That-
does. He's the goat
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, he's the goat, and he's 40. Yeah, he's Tom Brady's not human. It's not right, but yeah.
He might actually have the one ring.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, he's got 7 of them, but he might actually have the wrong one. It would not surprise me.
This has gone off on a tangent, but he has more rings than any team. That shouldn't be right. That's just not right at all. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, the one ring. I'm quite interested in it. It's a nice gold design. Tell me, what's the language on the ring?
Well, it's a corruption of Sindarin, of the Elvish tongue. So it's the dark tongue of Mordor, and apparently it says Ashnaz Buk Torluk, Ashnaz Duk Buk Torluk. So it is but it does look very beautiful, and the inscription is just unique. It is also one of a kind, and it is very old. It was made in the Second Age of Middle Earth, and we're now in the Third Age. I think it was
Amazing.
It's 2021 is where we are now.
Yeah. Would you recommend people wear it on their finger at all times, or does it come with any accessories?
It does come with a very handy gold chain that you can wear around your neck. I would recommend doing that most of the time, but you might find yourself unable to resist putting the ring on and claiming yourself to be the ruler of said ring, whether you're a lord or a lady of the ring. So,
And should we be warning people off giving in to the temptations, voices, and other hallucinations that they might see while wearing this, or just give themselves over? What do you reckon?
I would say try and hold off as long as possible, because once you pop, you just can't stop.
Amazing. Sounds fantastic. How much could
That
our
is a line
viewers...
lifted directly from the original Tolkien, isn't it?
Pretty well.
Yes.
He was also a
Sponsors.
well-known marketing executive of Pringles.
Lord of the Rings, famously sponsored
Frodo.
by Pringles.
Once
Yeah.
you pop, you can't stop.
Sam definitely said that. No, Frodo said that to Sam, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh
Frodo
dear.
and Sam had a very deep, tender relationship, as we've previously
It is.
discussed.
Yes.
I know.
Very, very
Sam.
deep.
And just a quick question. It spent a long time with Gollum, right?
Mhm.
Does it smell like fishy excrement?
No, it's been thoroughly cleaned, I
Good.
think.
Deep scrub, bleach, several caps of Dettol.
I mean, what does it cost? You probably could pick it up for 2 giant eagles.
That's it. That's the cost. 2 giant eagles. Unfortunately, we won't accept 4 payments because that would be rather inhumane towards the eagles.
Yeah,
but
not
we
4
will.
regular eagles.
No, we
Giant
will
eagles.
accept 2 payments of giant eagles. You
Yeah.
can find the first one, and then if you have to catch
Oh,
the second
no,
one
hang on,
afterwards,
what's the
that'd be-
payments? Specifically, you need to be stung by a spider, probably lose a finger along the way, lose the King of Gondor. Yeah, you know, you just need a few sacrifices here and there, it's fine.
So a high
Standard
price,
terms and conditions stuff. Don't just scroll down and click accept. It's fine.
a high price indeed, and if anything, we can say a high price is worth paying if the object you're going to be owning afterwards is so very, very desirable.
Side effects might include severe mental health issues and being stalked by ringwraiths, the Nazgul.
But we have been told to say by our lawyers that the ring wraiths, they are an occupational hazard of having the ring, and therefore we are not liable for it. So get yourself signed up, get yourself the one ring, and it will come with the many other rings and accoutrements that come with it, and a gold chain, so you can wear it around your neck. Isn't that nice, everyone? A nice gold chain. Absolutely lovely. Okay, thanks, Duncan. We're going to be going over to me. Hello, I'm back here once again, and I just have to make sure that I have the right one here. Are you ever in a meeting with other people? At the moment, probably not. But you soon will be. And I think you, like me, will find being in the company of real people with real habits, annoying, good or otherwise, you're going to get pretty sick of them after a while. So what better way to clear out a room, not with stink bombs or anything like that, but with a class 4 grenade that's been cleverly disguised as something else. I introduce you, of course, to, from GoldenEye, the pen that once provoked Q to say, the pen is mightier than the sword, which made me hate myself slightly for saying that. That's very nice. It's basically a Parker click-top ballpoint pen. Click the top 3 times, it arms the 4-second fuse. Click it 3 times again, it disarms it. And of course, that's when you can go to your mates, click, click, click. How long do you reckon the fuse is? And they'll tell you to grow up, because that's not something you should be playing with, because it is, of course, a class 4 grenade. So, you know, it's a wonderful way to spice up meetings. And as I say, clear a room quite effectively. You can just click 3 tops. So put it down on the table, leave the room, and all your troubles, well, they'll be blown away. They'll be blown away by it.
What's the writing action like on it? How does it write?
Surprisingly, very good. With the whole point of this is that it's it's something that you can slip into your pocket, walk around with, and use as a pen for infiltration sort of techniques and any other sort of espionage type missions you might be carrying out. So yeah, the writing action is fine. The ink reservoir is not as big as it usually is in a standard Parker, sort of click shot pen. It has actually had to make quite a lot of room for the explosive that we use in the top of it. So you'll find that it will have to be replaced at far, far, far shorter intervals than normal ink
Quite
cartridges.
understandable.
Absolutely. It's a small price to pay.
You said it's a Parker pen, so can people get it free if they just purely inquire for Sun Life insurance?
Fantastic. In fact, might be the best joke of the show. But of course, this being a
Sun
class
Life
4
Insurance trying
grenade.
to cut down their payout
Yeah.
payout overheads.
Did we arm
people
wrestle it off
grenade
Michael
pens.
Parkinson?
Yeah. Well, you've just got to inquire, and we'll give you this pen, and just click it 3 times and throw. We'll go back to Michael Bublé. Here we go. Well, no, I mean, of course, it's not going to be the thing that Sage gives away with every inquiry. This is definitely an opportunity. We have thousands of them. I mean, thousands of them lying around.
Just stacked up, lying around, left in drawers, left
Yeah.
in little, just sort of popped on random people's desks.
It's hard to say how many Parker pens you see in the real world that aren't one of these pens, to be quite honest with you.
Chances are, yeah.
Absolutely, and they are available for a deceptively and quite worryingly low price of just $12.99. That's all you need to get yourself a Class 4 grenade in pen form.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. So, fill your baskets, get them going. Going to be handing over to Russ. Russ.
So, I can't remember what the last thing I said was, so I'm just going to bring it up. Oh, yeah, so this would be pretty handy. So this is a little concoction known as Felix Felicis, something like that. Otherwise known as the Luck Potion from Harry Potter. Or, if you prefer to look at it that way, the Luck Virus from Red Dwarf. Same thing, different packaging. All made by the same company, the same factory in China, they just package it differently.
I've seen other videos with, looking at this picture, I've seen other videos with the Luck Potion in it. It looks like a butt plug is what I'm trying to say.
I mean, it's made of fairly thin
You've
glass.
been watching
and it's got
those
a very
videos.
spiky end.
Yeah, it looks a bit like a...
But then it is the Luck Potion, so chances are if you shove it up there, nothing bad's going to happen.
True.
So yeah, I think you get 24 hours of guaranteed good luck. Of course, this in any sense, this would be the most ridiculously unethical, coveted thing in history. It would, people would fight wars for this because it would be insanely useful. And school kids use it to dick about, apparently.
Yeah.
So that's fine, isn't it? The most useful substance in the world. But yeah, it would be pretty handy.
Yeah, like I'd imagine you could use it and then head off to Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, why? I can't even remember what they use it for in the films.
God
but
knows.
they by that point they could apparate. They should have fucked off to Atlantic City or somewhere and just raked it in for 24 hours.
Russ, how many doses are we selling with each measure that
So I
we
believe
sell?
that is just a single dose. You get
A single
24 hours
dose.
of guaranteed good luck, absolutely infallible, and then your world will probably come crashing down around you because you didn't realise the time and you just put everything on black.
But as I'm saying, something like this, incredibly useful, must be worth an absolute fortune, Russ.
It is one of the pricier items in our current catalogue. This single dose does come currently in at £17.3 billion.
That's a lot of money. We do, of course, have very many finance options that you can take advantage of that might leave you in debt for centuries. So, please do consider all the terms and conditions when you are looking at it. But a luck potion, wow! I mean, what a thing to own. Absolutely marvelous. Is there anything that comes with it? The means to inject it, or is this? Or how do you take it? Orally, anally?
You're going through a lot of very exciting options. I think most people do opt for just drinking it, but I say shove it wherever you fancy. As long as it's working, you're not going to do yourself any harm.
Absolutely. Russ, do we provide it in suppository form if needed?
Well, according to
Looks like
Dan,
it
already is. So there you go.
Excellent. That's really good. And of course,
Pop it up there,
intrarectal.
clench hard enough to break the glass. That's how they work, isn't it?
Amazing.
The first bit of luck you will be receiving is not a lacerated anus.
Absolutely. And of course, the glass is just sugar glass, so it will dissolve lightly and effervesce like a bath bomb, which is always an unpleasant feeling, but you'll think it's lucky.
I think
so
you're
don't
doing
worry
bath
about
bombs
it.
wrong.
I'm doing bath bombs wrong. I thought that's what you did with them. Why else would they be round?
Crouched over the tub,
Yeah.
spouting like a little orange and pink fountain.
Go Lee! I've run a
Whilst,
bath. I popped a bath bomb in.
whilst Fleur de Lis is playing in the background.
That is the music. That is the music we used to be playing.
Oh, beautiful.
No, no,
Oh no, I think we might just need to keep an eye on the time. These are very time limited offers, and I think we are approaching the end of the Mega Deals Bargain Bucket Hour.
They are indeed. So make sure that if you've got any of the fantastic items that you've heard of tonight, if you've got them in your basket, do not forget to check out Now,
Just one quick question. Companion Cube looks like it would make a great replacement for his Dan's hentai pillow.
Hey, what you get up to the weighted companion cube is between you and the weighted companion cube. Although I will reiterate, it is fully sentient and aware of everything that you're doing to it.
it won't tell you.
It can't. It couldn't if it wanted to. But it knows. It knows.
That's really sinister, isn't it? Like, yeah, that's really sinister.
I never knew that about the companion cube. I thought it was literally just a cube.
Well, it's what GLaDOS tells you, but she does tell you that they are all fully sentient AIs.
But it does make me want to go through Portal imagining that it is something sentient that I'm saving.
Although you don't save it, because you hurl it into a furnace.
Yeah.
But apparently you do it so much faster than previous test subjects.
But it gets rescued at the end of Portal 2. Because they're a slightly different design. I think in one it's like a pink circle with a white heart, and on the other game it's the other way around. And the one that pops out at the end of Portal 2 is not the Portal 2 design of Companion Cube. So either that little cinematic was put together by somebody who wasn't really paying attention to the proper asset pool, or it's the one from the first game that GLaDOS has sent out with you.
I like to think it's the one from the first game.
Right, have we got a couple more bargains to go through? We should. I've
got some quick ones if you want to do them quickly.
Yeah, we should.
Quick ones.
Yeah, 2 quick ones. Ross, have you got any more?
I can't
remember.
remember.
More, didn't you?
I genuinely can't remember how many I put in, and I've just screwed up and thrown away the little bit of paper that I'd written them down on. So, anyway, do you want to go through a couple more?
Okay, cool. So I've got, especially if you're living in New York, there's been an increase in ghost sightings recently. Now, hiring a ghost exterminator is expensive, and let's be honest, they leave a bit of a mess when you do that. So why not go straight to the source, buy your own proton pack? Made by, not Dr. Egon Spengler, by Egon Spengler and Dr. Ray Stantz. These unlicensed nuclear accelerators will dispatch ghosts, or will at least hold them until you can get a trap under there. Now, we are offering today, as a one-off deal, the proton pack and the trap for just $2 million.
That's actually a good deal.
It's a great deal. It's a great deal. Now, what I would say is, if you and your friends decide to get proton packs, there's some something about making sure that you don't point them at each other, basically. Something about crossing the streams. Probably want to avoid that.
I'm sure it's all health and safety nonsense.
Don't look directly at the trap, although the first thing you will then do is look directly at the trap. These are great items. Patent pending, obviously. There are some waivers that you have to sign before you decide to use one of these, because, as I say, unlicensed nuclear accelerator. But the must-have item for Christmas for kids, I think.
Yep, absolutely.
Does it make a cool activation noise?
It really fucking does. It's one of my all-time favorite activation noises.
So badass.
How easy is it to slide the trap underneath such a spectre, and how long is actually the cord? Because it never looks like it's long enough.
The cord's reasonably long, and it's on rollers, so it's pretty easy to slide the trap.
Excellent. They thought of everything. They thought of everything in the design of these things.
Now.
And you say $2 million? Pounds?
Dollars, yeah.
$2 million.
Yep,
absolutely fantastic.
From America,
shipped in from America. If you've got them in your basket, make sure you click checkout. Duncan, have you got another product for us?
Yeah, so you might, like all of us, have experienced the need to clear out demons have leaked in through unwanted portals to hell, and you might have to clear out the odd lab, or maybe a moon base, or maybe Mars. And eventually you might need to clear out Earth of these unwanted hellborn. So why not get yourself this magnificent gun, the BFG 9000? It is the weapon of choice if you need to get rid of the cyber demons, say, or the weird pink one that goes, which I used to call my sister. So that is, I used to compare my sister to those pink demons. So,
cool,
you look
pinkies,
like this.
aren't they?
Yeah, I always knew. Well, they were just my sister, really, because I'm a nice brother. Anyway, Yeah, so the BFG 9000, one of the ultimate weapons for fighting the hordes from hell.
What about home security? Is it
Really
practical?
good as well. It's very practical. It won't necessarily just rip apart your house.
It won't necessarily. Excellent. You heard it here first. It won't necessarily do it, but if it does, we
It's
can't
not
be
our
held
fault.
liable.
How available is ammunition for this gun?
I was going to ask that. It's quite rare.
I mean, if you've got the proton pack, it's probably quite. I think it's probably compatible. I don't
That
know.
wouldn't
Weird
end all
energy
life,
cells.
would it?
Yeah, weird energy cells. I think was what.
Yeah.
You need some special batteries.
Six
Let's just say
standard
it's
double A
6.
sci-fi energy glowy green things.
Yeah, you might be able to get I think they're the D-size batteries. You know, get some good Duracell D-size. That'll just
The ones
do
you'd
the
have to
trick.
lick to test.
Yeah.
Yeah,
actually,
Or
the 9
so
volts.
my parents told me. Thanks, guys.
No, you have to lick them.
Yeah. Just you want to test it, just like
Yeah. Oh, I can just
You
taste
can
metal.
imagine your dad saying.
yeah, you can, can't you? Yeah. Yeah. Brilliant.
It's fun having a kid. Just lick the
BFG
battery.
9000,
Beautiful.
perfect for clearing out.
How
It's
much?
also how much? I think it's. I don't know.
Some.
Say a
Some
number.
monies. Some numbers.
Bargain.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Some numbers.
And
yeah.
available for several payment slices if you want to finance it. So just remember,
You might.
allocate and check out. What?
I mean, you might be able to get it again if you just sell your soul.
Simple. You heard it here first. We accept souls or cash. No
Always,
checks.
always your first option, isn't it, Duncan? Just sell your soul.
Yeah, pretty well.
Sell
Route one.
your soul. Dan, I believe you've got one more product for us, and then Duncan has one more, and then we will wrap this up.
I do. Have you
I-
ever
I-
looked at?
I think I might have one more. Let's see what's next, and if I remember it, it'll be one of mine.
Okay, let's see. What...
Oh
Excellent.
yeah, it's one of mine.
Hey.
So this is
Russ, we're going over to Russ.
This is from the same collection as the as the grenade pen. There's a bit of a trend for sort of retro watches and things. So the little Casio wristwatches, never more popular. Got one myself somewhere. Amazing, absolutely bulletproof construction. This one, little bit of Dymo tape comes out of it, doesn't it? Which I love since the first. I believe this is in From Russia with Love. I think. It's so clearly just someone sliding out a bit of Dymo tape that's tucked under the watch, and then someone's put a chink 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 noise on top of it. But if it doesn't need to be able to communicate or anything, but if I could have a Casio wristwatch that was also a Dymo punch tape label maker, I would be so fucking happy. And so will you be when you buy this for the price of just £007.
Nay.
Hey. Oh, I love it.
It would have to be a classic chunka Dymo tape. If it's one of the ones that's just a small printer, can fuck right off. Where's the fun in that?
No, because you want to be able to label stuff whenever you and wherever you are.
I mean, there's a bit of a thing about James Bond watches, isn't it? And the various things they do. There's the ones that are outright cool, like the Omegas. I think it was Omegas or tags that I think it was Omegas that Pierce Brosnan was wearing, like the one from Goldeneye with the lasers. Like, you know, really cool watches. Like, I think some of the gold Casio digital watches with like the motion trackers and TVs on them and stuff like that, they were all quite cool.
He had a TV watch, didn't he?
Yeah, and then there was the one with tape.
Actually, the one that had the really
coolest.
strong magnet was actually quite helpful. Wasn't that Living Daylights or something? But
yeah, you also use that to escape from the cells in 7i, don't you? In the GoldenEye game, you use it to get the guard's key and unlock your cell.
Yeah, that's right. Well remembered. That's very good. Yes, excellent. And of course, as Russ said, yours for £007. We're going to go over to who's next? If
Dan,
it was
I
Russ,
believe.
then it will
Me,
be
yeah.
Dan. We're over to you, Dan. Product specialist Dan. What have you got?
So, have you ever looked at a kite and thought, I would like to be that kite, but at hundreds of miles an hour with no form of protection around me to look after me if I happen to crash. Well, Marvel have you sorted on this one. Introducing the Falcon wings, tested by pilots in war zones for whatever reason. I still can't figure out what they're useful for. You yourself could soar through the skies, much like the Falcon in the upcoming Marvel series, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So, for the low price of, I don't know, grand, you could pick up a pair of these.
A cool G.
You could pick up a pair of these Falcon wings that were stolen from Shield, or the Air Force, weren't they?
Yeah.
Everything about the Falcon. Falcon is one of my favorite Marvel characters in the comics, in the films. I still don't know what the wings were originally for.
No, because there's not many military applications for just getting one guy and no other stuff somewhere very quickly.
Yeah, exactly. I say I love the Falcon, particularly in the films. He's such a great character and he's played so well, and I'm really looking forward to this TV series. But yeah, when they're talking about served in the Iraq War, and it's like,
That's
doing what?
Yeah. I mean, as a psychological weapon, that's quite cool. But I mean, any radar system is going to pick him up quite easily. He gives off a heat signature, doesn't he?
They pick up the Iron Man suit, don't they? And that's technically smaller than.
And he uses repulsor technology, doesn't he?
I say it looked freaking awesome. He's very cool, and the things that Marvel have seemingly limitless ways of making it look awesome in fight scenes as well. But probably not that useful in actual war zones.
But for swooping around and impressing people, pretty
fucking
good.
Awesome, yeah, and very cool in one-on-one situations, like he tends to fight the bad guys with in the MCU as well.
Yeah,
and only £1,000.
Yeah,
you can go 1G for 1G.
There you go.
Nice. Beautiful. That's the tagline. That's what we're going to do to advertise them. 1G to go 1G. Yeah, brilliant. Love it. And you can, of course, flexi pay £250, 4 installments. We will break your legs if you don't make the payments. Duncan, we're on to you.
Well, what would be a TMT008 shopping channel if we did not mention these cute guys? You might want an unusual pet for Christmas. Well, we've got the Mogwai. This one is called Gizmo, but you can get other Mogwais. They are maybe a bit of a challenge to look after. Don't feed it too much, especially after midnight, isn't it?
Yeah,
And
what does after midnight mean?
I know.
What time can you feed it?
You feed them. Don't get them wet, so they will stink. Because it's feeding and getting wet.
I'm not being funny, but chinchillas don't stink, and they're not allowed to get wet either.
Oh yeah,
dust baths, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe they just have.
What time can you feed a chinchilla? Maybe it's the same.
Oh, it's any time after midnight.
Yeah,
but not
any time before midnight. So if you keep Mogwais and chinchillas, it's very confusing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any side effects we should know about?
Well, this one might give off. If I think it's after it's fed, it's little other furballs. It reproduces in a really, really odd way, and these will then go out and eat. And if they eat, they turn into these gremlins. And you can get. And the thing is, you don't know what kind of gremlin you're going to get.
I'm about to educate you on Gremlins 2 here. I think you'll find they were being experimented on.
Oh,
that's
having watched Gremlins 2 fairly recently.
Oh, have you? All right, that's good. I've been meaning to try and watch it.
I watch that Key and Peele thing, and I go, "I'm gonna watch Gremlins 2 again."
It's got the Hulk. It's got the Hulk in it, as my producer's telling us. Yeah, it's got the Hulk. Mention
cultural
the Hulk.
icon, phenom,
turned wrestler, turned actor, Hulk Hogan,
breaking the fourth wall and shit. Yeah. He's not only in the movie; he's in the movie.
He's definitely in the movie. Yeah.
Definitely in the movie.
Yes.
Yeah. So you could get yourself this very unique creature, and they're very friendly. Gizmo is adorable. sure the cuddly toys were far more adorable than actually the puppet looks.
Mm.
But yeah, Gizmo.
Puppet looks kind of smug.
Yeah,
Doesn't it?
slap its little.
Just
smug
quickly,
face.
if they do turn to a gremlin, how easy are they to blend?
Surprisingly easy.
Yeah, okay, that's cool.
Listen, but don't drink the resultant mush. It's
No.
not a smoothie. It's not a protein paste.
Why are they,
Just don't do it. And
why
how
are they
much?
experimenting on gremlins? Sorry.
There's no answer.
Military scientists just love experimenting on shit.
Yeah, vegetable gremlins,
What is it?
bat gremlins.
Smart gremlin, bat gremlin, spider gremlin, lady gremlin, electricity gremlin.
Vegetable gremlin.
Googly-eyed
I'm
gremlin.
going to throw one. Googly-eyed gremlin, electricity gremlin. The Hulk is going to be in this film. I'm going to throw one out there. Vegetable gremlin.
Vegetable gremlin.
No, I've got to go to put some Cowboys and Back to the Future 3.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yay!
Hey.
Admittedly, these are only actually available, and we've got our supply from some ancient Chinese guy, a really old Chinese guy. Seems to have a good supply of them, so that's where we got ours from.
Absolutely.
But we're bringing it to you. This is from reputable Mogwai dealers, not those dodgy backstreet ones.
No, not some unethical Mogwai farm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Ours are all ethical. Everything we do is ethical on the Too Much Time on Our Hands shopping channel. It's all ethical, including the lengthy and often finance crippling credit options that we do provide. Don't forget, you can of course check out now, or you can check out later, but just because it's in your basket doesn't mean the stock has been allocated to you. So do get those checkout buttons hit, put in your payment details. And thank you very much for joining us on the Too Much Time on Our Hands shopping channel. If you've enjoyed today's episode, it was a little bit of fun, do hit us up on our social feeds at Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook using the handle at TMTOH. Also, go to our Instagram account and find the link in our bio to join us on our Discord channel, where all sorts of conversations are going on a daily basis, which I need to get more involved in, and we need to get Russ hooked up on as well at some point. And of course,
I
there
just
is
don't think
also...
I'll be interested in anything I have to say.
Yeah, but that's
You'd
not
be
true.
surprised.
You'd be surprised. Yeah, you'd be surprised, Russ. There will be
We'll
someone.
set up a whole plug channel on
No,
there.
that's okay. Yeah, fine,
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Plugs, adapters, and shit. Yeah. So it's all there in that one channel. Join Russ there, where he'll be crying into the bin on his own with his plugs. Oh, you plug fucking chump. Anyway, love you to death. Also, Dan and Terry and Steve have been doing Wandering WandaVision, and they've completed their series of it. It's well worth a listen. They have also they're expanding it out to Marveling at Marvel. Marveling
Yeah,
Marvel.
Marveling
Marveling at Marvel.
Marveling at Marvel.
Yeah.
In a podcast they call Marveling Marvel, which should be excellent. They're also doing some podcasts on the Nolan films as well,
Not for a while
which
now,
not for a while, but should. All these things you should be keeping your ear to the ground, or eyes if you're watching the stream. So with no further ado, unless Dan looks like he's got something else to say.
So we mentioned last week World Cup of villains.
Yes.
We're going to specify movie villains
Okay.
because I thought we wouldn't get that many if it was movie and TV. We're going to specify movie villains because we've already had a load of movie villains. So get your movie villains into us, and I think we might do that next week.
Tremendous. So that's it. So if there's any other products you think we should have been marketing today, or movie villains you want to suggest for our World Cup of movie villains, please do hit us up on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter using the handle at TMTOOH. There's not really much else to say apart from it's almost the end of the show. The shopping baskets are going, the cash registers are ringing. We're going to say goodbye to Duncan.
Goodbye, Tom.
Goodbye. Thank you very much for joining us. Appreciate it. Dan, we're going to say goodbye to you, sir.
Goodbye, Tom.
Absolutely. 60% of the time, Dan works every time. And we're going to say goodbye to Russ as well. Russ, thank you for joining us with all your products.
Ta-ra. See you next time.
And on that note, we say don't forget to check out, keep those cash registers ringing, and cue the music.